And enough, I guess. I'll figure it out. What up, everybody? This is the In My Fields podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Mikey, with my boy
The truth.
D Truth. Yo, D, what's got you in your fields today?
Uh, I don't know. It's a lot to talk about, man. I just haven't been feeling right, and I just had to like take precautions on certain things in life, bro. That I'm just like, damn. So,
What you mean though? Like, what is making you stress like that? You feel me? Like,
so, all right. So, like the other day, right? I just came home, and you know, I'm not from here. You know, from the East Coast, and just starting fresh, and just pretty much living life, and then you think, you know how you put like certain precautions and certain things in life and like goals and things you want to accomplish, and then you finally accomplish all these things that you wanted for yourself, and then you sit back and you realize that it's just not enough or something is missing. So long story short, I get home and I walk through my front door, and I'm just looking at everything that I either wanted in life, everything that just having my own spot, everything. Just life is just going great, but you just feel empty.
yeah, nah, I feel what you're saying. So like a big thing and being married with kids, I can understand what you're saying now. Like for example, a couple weeks back, my girl and my kids stayed at her mom's house because she was like, yeah, like we were prepping, we were doing all that stuff. So she's just like, she's like, I'm gonna stay there. So I got home and you just empty. Like you just don't have. It's not the same love. It's not the same thing. And like I feel like a lot of times, especially men, we'll go and say we set goals for ourselves, but once you hit those goals, there's nothing left.
Yeah,
You're like, if you don't have that significant other, you don't have those kids or somebody to share it with, you're kind of just empty. It's like I could buy, you know, the PS5 and play it all day, but once all those things that you thought were goals or you make this certain amount of money, you realize it's empty. It's not gonna get you anywhere. It's cool. Like I love the fact that we have goals or even like body goals and stuff like that. So like you sitting there and you're like you trying to get in shape, you trying to do that, and it's like one day you kind of sit back and like, what for?
yeah. Like it felt repetitive. Like so, but like it's one of those things where I'm not used to just opening up about stuff like that. I just live my life day by day. It feels very robotic and repetitive, right? So I sat back and thought to myself. So I called my cousin, and usually we talk about it, and I like to get her perspective because she's where she was born, the years she was born. She's don't fall too far from the young crowd and don't fall too far from the older crowd.
Yeah.
So she's in the same bracket as me. And she told me, she said, it's funny how your brother is in New York going through the same thing that you're going through in San Diego. You guys work so hard to be well established in life now, but you guys are still not satisfied and still not happy. And she was like, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's about that time you find a wife and start a family. And I was just like, yeah, but look what we got to choose from. And I'm to blame also because where I'm going to look, it's not ideal either. So
Yeah.
I'm putting myself in a ditch, and then I had to take a step back and just be like, you know what? What do I want for me in life? Do I still want to run around, date people here and there, and figure it out, or and just wing it, or I really want to put in the work and take the time to see if I could find somebody well established that's worth it. Because how I choose someone is deeper than what we understand. Can they be
Yeah.
a mother? Can they love? Are they selfish? It's like a lot of little things we look for. And I'm gonna be honest, man. The standard and the bracket is pretty high because the family I come from, right? The women in my family are very independent, alpha, outgoing. So I seen that at a young age to the point where now that I'm older now and I want something official, all I have to compare it to is women that are independent, career driven, godly women compared to what's now, and the generation had gotten worse. So it's like I can't even, the bracket is so high for the type of women I want or for the women in my family to match them. But my standard is pretty much what people are saying is too high compared to what's going on in this generation. And I don't think it's fair. And I'm willing to sit it out. And I kept telling myself that sit it out until you find somebody that can match that or at least come close. Or you can see have potential that can evolve to that lady. But nowadays it's nothing even close. It's like everybody's trying to figure out their life at 30 years old. And I'm just like, bro, like, what do you mean? Like, what were your parents doing? What were you doing for the last 10 years? Did you finish school? And it's like so much stuff that I kind of like dig and ask, and then people get irritated. Some people can't handle it because they in a hot seat. All they want to do is have sex and do drugs and drink all day. And it's like, nah, I don't want to do that. And now they like, oh, now it feels like you're rebellious towards what they need. And it always falls through. Anybody I ever dated that I ever told them like, yo, this feel like it's based on sex. We're not doing sex no more. I need you to get your shit together before I could take you serious. Because it's like, oh, you live alone, or you got money, or you got your life together. I'ma just pack my stuff and move in here. Like, no, that's not how that works. Like, I'm not a shelter. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, and I get it. I think the thing that's hard, like you said, in the generation it's shifted. The thing, knowing you, because bro, you one of my best friends. So like, I look at both sides. Yeah. I would say sometimes your standards are a little high, but I think with you, the big thing is going to be like making boundaries and setting them. But when someone messes up the first time, not just calling it. Like, because a lot of times what happens is you'll be like, oh, she did this. And then she's like automatically off the list. Like she done.
But I'm fair though. But it's always within reason. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I'm one of those dudes that I'll tell you something, but I also give you a way out. Meaning, like, perfect example, recent situation. She's in her mid-20s, didn't have a driver's license in California. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
I'm like, okay, well, we can learn how to drive, open parking lot. We can get you driving lessons. You're going to have to take this test by yourself. I can't hold your hand to take this test.
Yeah.
Keep failing the test. You can't even pass the written test. And all you got to do is read a book. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Come on, bro. Like, I'm not reasonable. I'm always reasonable with people. Because it's like, you want me to lead you, but you're not letting me lead. You're being rebellious. Now I feel like I'm your daddy. Now I don't want to sleep with you because I feel like I'm your pops. Then I got to hold sex against you and be like, oh, I'm not sleeping with you no more until you get this done because this is important. Because I can't come from work and I give you because I'm already, let's say, okay, perfect example. This is how I am. I'm not going to ask you to cook. I love to cook. This is personal to me. Yeah. I love cook. I cook every day. I'm not going to ask you to cook, but I would ask you to go to the grocery store. Yeah. Right? The least you can do is drive to the grocery store and get the list that I gave you completed with my money because I'm in work. I'm working for us.
Yeah.
You can't even do that because you can't drive. So now I got to come from work. I got to get the groceries. Then I got to come home. Then I got to prep the meat, prep the food, cook the food. And it's like, bro, at this point, this is a free joyride in life. And that's what I got a problem with. But when I tell my side of the story, everybody's like, oh, damn, that do make sense. It's not fair to him. Mm-hmm. But when they hear her side of the story, it always sounds kind of like, nah, this don't make sense. Oh, yeah, he's not it. And it's just like, but when you hear mine, now you understand it. Like, oh, damn, you got a point now.
Yeah, I think, honestly, like, looking at the situation, being married and you know, I would say, you know, it is a little bit harder. I will say, kind of looking at that dating pool now, like, I wouldn't want to be single. Dude, I feel like I would just be out there running amok or not finding what I need. Mm-hmm. But I think the thing that's hard too is I feel like it's not necessarily fair to you, but you're going to have to open your pool a little bit where you're going to have to start looking at situations that, you know, she might not be in the best shape, or she might not, because the thing about it is this: what you impede on a person, a lot of people will change to whatever it is. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Just like she's going to change you, you're going to change her. So honestly, looking at some of the situations, you know, I feel like you attract empty women. You attract women that are fatherless, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is sometimes when they get to you, they're looking for that father figure instead of that partner. And you want a partner. You don't care. You want them to be able to think for themselves and do their own thing. And so I feel like with you, you're probably going to have to open that pool to some things that you wouldn't have necessarily dated before. Because what's going to happen is when you find someone that's empty and they don't realize that they're empty, you can't fix that. They have to want to change. And the thing is, you can scream as much as you want. You can try to help them as much as you want until they physically say, yo, I'm done with this. I have to be stepping that game up. It's not going to work. I mean, back before my wife, the girl I dated before my wife, same situation. She, no car, no driver's license, you know, lived with her grandparents actually. And super quick, moved in with me, like within like a month. And like for me, I was young, I didn't care. But you come from a different perspective because you're established. You know, with her, I had to do that. I had to hold her hand and get her a driver's license. I had to go and help her get a car, help her deal with her family to help her get a car, to do those things. And, you know, at first too, she wouldn't get freaking gas. She wouldn't do stuff like that, which in some cultures and some families, you know, that's what men do. Men go get the gas, men go do that. It's just a safer thing. But the thing was, to me, it was like, dude, when I first started dating her, I had to drive her to work every day, bro. And so imagine that I'm driving from Paradise Hills to freaking Coronado because she worked on the base. So I had to drive from Paradise Hills, which is by your old pad, all the way to Coronado every day for freaking just take her to work. And mind you, I'm talking like she had to be there at like 7. So we had to be up out the door by 5:30 to get her there by 7. And then I had to come back and pick her up by 3.
Okay.
You know, so like when you talk about some of this stuff, I've been there. Like I sat there and I was like, damn, bro, like you.
So look, I got a question for you.
What up?
When you found your wife, how did you know? Because some people that I've talked to, and that's just another lane that I don't want to get into, not yet, but they told me they locked in with their spirit and just growing as a spiritual person, finding God, and God told them who was for them.
So what I'll say is this: it is that to a sense. So what I did, I remember, I broke up with that girl. I sat down and I was just not happy. I was not happy with everything. I was just kind of like, went from one job to another. I didn't have, you know, the business. I didn't have anything. I was working at a freaking nightclub where I was making, dude, I think I was making like $250 every 2 weeks. So like I couldn't produce anything. So I was sitting there and I took 2 exes. So I had her, which was, she was super clingy and she wanted to be around you, but she was cool. Like we had fun when we were together. And then I had another ex that was a bartender, and she was, you know, like Bonnie to my Clyde. You know what I mean? Like she was like, nobody's gonna mess with you in front of me. You're my man. This is how we're rolling. But she was super independent, like hyper independent. So like when we were together, when we rocked together, it was Bonnie and Clyde. But she liked her own space. She liked all these certain things. So I remember after dating both of them, I wrote down what I liked from one and what I liked from the other, and I wrote it down on a list. And I asked God for that. I was like, can you give me somebody that can fit this? And I remember I had met my wife at a friend's birthday party. She had dated a guy I used to play football with in college. So she dated him, and she comes up to me at the bar, but I have a girlfriend at the time. So the one that was kind of immature was my girlfriend at the time. And she was coming to that party later. She was at work. So she comes up to me at the bar, and she says, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, oh, good. And she goes, I'm like, you look familiar. And she goes, and I said straight up, I was like, you're so-and-so's ex. And so she was like, oh, like she was like, really? Like, and it's funny because my father-in-law is walking by at this moment, and he's like, yep, that's her. Like, and she was like, yeah, it was in her eyes, nothing was a mistake, but she was like, that was a rough time in her life. So she was like, yeah. So she tells me, not too much. She kind of is cool. I sit back down with my family. We're over here chilling, and her and her sister keep looking at me. So I thought her sister liked me. I didn't think she liked me. But I was like, all right, cool. I got a girl. Like, it doesn't matter. So fast forward, I break up with my girl. And I broke up with her because things just weren't right. So we were fighting a lot. And what happened was, I've never cheated. So I've never cheated on a girl. But I had this girl that used to keep coming to the club all the time. And it was definitely one of those situations where I think somebody was trying to break us up in that aspect of like spiritual way. Because this girl kept coming, and she would come on to me, try to flirt with me. And it was just, I really wouldn't flirt back, but it was just like, she was just always there, and she would try to listen. She would be like, I'm at a club, I'm working at a club, and she wants to stand next to me and try to talk to me, but not in anything sexual, like just kind of like trying to be your friend. And I had gotten over my girl. I was like, she was just, everything was a problem. She hated me working in the nightclub. She hated everything about me. She wanted to change me so much. And I just wasn't ready for that. I didn't want to do that. And she was I looked at it kind of like an anchor. Like she wasn't bringing me up. She was just kind of like
a liability.
Like she was just always, she would want to fight so that we could have makeup sex, and she would do stuff like that. So then this other girl comes into my life. She's just trying to talk to me. I never even gave her my phone number. So then I finally break up with my girl because I was like, you know what? I'm wondering what this girl's doing, not my girl. And I'm like, that's not fair. That's not fair to her. Before anything happens, before I'd step down this road the wrong way, I'm just going to squash it. I'm done. So I ended up breaking up with the immature girl. And then it's funny. That girl disappears. I'm saying like for 5-6 months, I see her every weekend. Disappears. Fell off the face of the earth. I never saw her again. And so I'm like, all right, cool. After about a month, I kind of started talking to my ex again because every guy falls into that little pit of maybe I fucked up, maybe she could change type of thing. And it was crazy. So I was kind of dating my ex again, on and off kind of thing. And my now wife goes into the club. And she walks up to me. I look at her, I'm like, oh, okay. And I was like, hey, how you doing? And I knew her name. Her name was Taylor. But she didn't know mine. And she's like, so I kind of talked to her, and it's whatever. So I talked to her the first time, but she was with a whole bunch of guys. So I'm like, all right, she dated somebody or something, because she was a good looking girl. So I'm like, all right, there ain't no way that you just come in with all these dudes and you're not dating one of them or something. Something's going on. Yeah. And then she comes back 2 more times. And each time, there's less and less guys each time. So then the last time she comes with just her homegirl. And she's like talking to me. And then I was like, all right, cool. I was like, hey, let me get your number. And she's like, okay, cool. I get her number. And one of the biggest things, one of the reasons I was like, yo, I rock with this girl. So I don't know her well enough to know anything, but she gets my number and she texts me like, hey, let me know when you get home. And remember, I dabbled. I was I hold around. I did some shit, but nobody gave a shit if you made it home. Like you go do your thing, and then, but nobody was like, hey, make sure you let me know when you get home. I want to make sure you're all right, type of thing. And I didn't have that. So like I'd have the 2 a.m. what's up, but I would never have, hey man, I hope you made it home. Or are you okay? Like they didn't care. So she texted me that, and I was like, oh shit. So she texted me that. Then I was like, okay, cool. Maybe this is something different. So text me that. Then I ask her on a date. And this is why they always say you choose your friends very wisely. So go on 2 dates with this girl. I'm feeling it. I'm like, okay, cool. And for me too, I was like, yo, I'm trying to stay off sex. Like, we ain't doing none of that. I'm not even trying to kiss her. Like, I just want to fucking vibe and see, like, if we good. Because I'm like, sometimes going too fast ruins your shit. And you're like, all right, man, I ain't trying to do this.
Bro, it's funny you say that. But I'm going to let you get your story out.
Yeah, no.
We get into that.
And so I legit was like, I played off. So she kissed me. She was like, she's like, second date. She's like, yo, like, you not feeling the vibe? Like, what's going on? And that was the thing. I was like, nah, I just didn't want to move too fast and then it mess up. So fast forward, I hit up my boy. I'm like, yo, I met her at his birthday party. He turned 21. And I call him. I'm like, yo, what's good? What's with this girl? Like what do I need to know about this girl? Like, do you know something? And he goes, bro, like, back in high school, she was like, he tried to say she was essentially a hoe. Like, that's the way I took it. And then I was like, oh man, like, and he was trying to like, he's like, I don't know if I would go that route. Like, I don't think you should date her. And I looked at him and I said, well, what do you call me? And he goes, well, you're a whore. Like, you're a straight man whore. Like, and I was like, so I can't judge somebody on whatever their body count or whatever it was. It ended up being a lie. That's the crazy part. It ended up being a lie. But
he tried to like block. He tried to block.
And I don't know why.
And he's feeling her low key.
No, so that's actually something that they were saying, like, maybe, I don't know. She's like, maybe he had a thing for me. I don't know. Cause like she knew him in high school and she's like, dude, I dated like maybe 3 people in high school. Like, that's it. Like, and I wasn't partying. I wasn't doing stuff like that. So
that sound like some.
It was just some haterade, a little bit. Like, it's whatever. Yeah. But the thing that was crazy was I'm sitting here and I'm like, imagine if I would have listened to my homies, like blind listen. Oh, nah, man, I can't do that. And that's the thing. That's another thing. Like, I can give you an opinion. All your homies can give you an opinion. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you have to know, like, yo, this is what I want to do. If I want to freaking run through this brick wall, fuck it. No one really could tell me anything at that point. So that's the thing, bro. Like, honestly. And I rocked with her, and she became my best friend. I think that's one thing you need to start looking for, is that person that can be your best friend. Like,
bro,
like, I'm telling you.
But I feel you, but you gotta understand this. Nah, bro. And I'm only saying no due to the fact that when somebody like you up front, they like you, bro.
Yeah.
It ain't no, you could be cool and yeah, it could be, they all right, one thing I notice about women is like they want to put a title on something. Either it's going to be friend, best friend, but it don't really be that. It be exclusive, someone I'm dating, someone I'm taking serious, right? Mm-hmm. So you got to be mindful. If someone's just my friend and I'm kissing on them and we got a crush on each other, it's not going to go the way that I think it's going to go, because let's say I bring other females around, like my other female friends around. She's going to be like, oh, I don't like how she was touching you. Because in her mind, she see you as a candidate to become a boyfriend sooner than you think. She's just waiting for you to lock it in.
So that's another thing too. Here's my thing, and this is just me. I really don't care for that talking stage. I'll lock the shit in, and if it fucking.
But this is what I'm saying. That's too dangerous.
Well, how?
Because look, you gonna be on your best behavior with her because you know y'all both like each other.
Yeah.
But if I don't like her like that and we cool,
then you shouldn't date her.
But that's what I'm saying. You said make her your best friend.
No. What I meant by that is
friendship is first, right?
Yeah,
I get that.
No, I didn't do that
to an extent. But that's what I'm saying.
No,
that's how it's in my listen. What you're saying is not wrong. That's how it's supposed to be. But nowadays, you gotta understand. The generation we live in now, there's a lot of dudes hovering a lot of these women that are pretty much attractive.
Yeah.
They're not letting them have leeway to be their friends. Once I'm like perfect example, right? Some of my homegirls, they're attractive, but I don't look at them like that because I shut that window where the window can never open where they can actually be with me. It's not happening. Once that window's nailed, it's over with. Mm-hmm. Certain dudes, like say I was hanging out, perfect example, I go to PB with my homegirls. Dudes would approach me and be like, yo, I seen you walking with this chick. Yo, is that your girl? I don't want to disrespect. And I'm like, oh, I appreciate it, but nah, that's free game. That's for you, bro. That's just my homegirl. So this is what I'm saying. Like, not every, like, if y'all a thing, let it be known. When you play that game, or you my friend.
No. What I meant by that wasn't that. I meant she became my best friend. Like, we were dating, we were together, but she was the person I wanted to deal with all the time. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Back then, that's how it was.
Yeah.
The generation we live in now is, I can be your friend, but I'm gonna play in your face.
Yeah, no. What I mean was, bro, like, okay, look, we literally dated, like, not official, 2 dates. I went on 2 dates with her, and I was like, fuck this. We gonna be
because
together.
that's what you want.
Yeah,
right?
but that's the thing. What I'm saying is, I had to be vulnerable enough to be like, fuck it, let's just see what happens.
Okay, with that being said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, you both established that you guys want to skip a stage and lock in.
Yeah.
The world we live in now, certain girls are not willing to move that fast due to trauma.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
That's fair.
So it's harder because I would rather do that where I don't have to worry about you. Like, there's too many open gaps where a man could fall in or an ex could come back, and they don't get that. Certain girls understand that, but certain guys try to play stupid about that. If I'm hanging out with a girl every day and I'm getting the milk and not having to milk the cow, right? But I'm getting the milk for free. Mm-hmm. No one is gonna sit back and be like, well, we should take a step back, right? The girl's gonna be like, because she's emotional, I want to lock in with you. The guy's gonna be like, oh yeah, we just met, let's slow down a little bit, right? For the most part. Or sometimes it'd be the other way around. But the guy's like, I don't want to mess with nobody else. I want to lock in you because you're like the best candidate for me right now, and I really like gonna rock with you. But that doesn't mean that it's the other way around. Because just because I deeply like a chick, don't mean that she's gonna deeply like me back.
Well, here's that thing. Here's where you're at. Mm-hmm. You got to take that leap, and if you get hurt, it sucks. Because look at what we're doing is we're playing a game. Mm-hmm. Now I don't play games no more. And you say that, yo, we go on this date, cool, I'm vibing with you. After the second date, I'll be like, yo, I ain't playing no games. Mm-hmm. So what are we doing? And you probably throw most girls off. And if they leave, I don't need you then. That means you ain't somebody I need to rock with. Mm-hmm. Because I'm able to say, hey, dude, I'm overplaying these games. And like you said, we've been here. We've done this. Mm-hmm. And we've played the field. It's cool. That shit was fun, whatever. Mm-hmm. But once you hit that certain point, you're like, bro, like you said, you're empty. Mm-hmm. You're empty on the inside. So now for me, I'm like, if I was in your position, if I really was vibing with a chick, I'm like, hey, so what's up? What we doing?
But that's the thing, though.
But the thing is, you can't crack before you say that.
But that's what I'm trying to say. This is why my approach is different now compared to what it was before. Look, the problem, like going back to when I kind of stopped you, you was telling the story. The problem is, I'll take a step back and I'll give my raw version of myself. Right? Cool. I'll let you know who I am and what I am before you find anything out. I'm going to give you the blunt, honest, raw truth of me. You're either going to take it or you're going to leave it, right? People, for the most part, that I have dated in the past fall in between I don't know, right? Yes and a no. And then they got the I don't know. They fall right between that. Boom.
Yeah.
So they 50-50 about me now. And then they're like, you know what? He is consistent. He is cool. He does kind of like take me nice places and stuff like that. He's funny. He's outgoing. But when certain topics we talk about, he's too masculine or he's too militant about certain things. And I'm like, but is that really the worst thing? When we really break it down, if they're bold enough to tell me, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Then I kind of pull back and tell them like, hey, look, I'm going to be honest, because let's be real. The average chick is not really working out as hard as certain guys. I work out, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So my stamina is on another level, right?
Yeah.
I would explain it because this recently happened, like the last, I'll say 3 times, 3 separate occasions, because I always take a break between dating. This happened 3 times. They wasn't too sure about me. We slept together. And then it became, oh, well, I like you more now. Now I want to be around you because that's all I was waiting for. To see if the sex was worth me staying, because certain way you speak, the way you, things that you talk about or the things that you've said in the past kind of rub me the wrong way, where I'm like, I'm not too sure about you. Because the way that I answered a question was too upfront, too raw and blunt. And it's like, you said that's something that you was okay with, but you're sensitive, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Then now the sex is running the situation, and it becomes a situationship where she's like, you know what? I like a lot of things about you. I don't like certain things, or you're not affectionate enough, but the sex is amazing. And it's like, now we're in a situation where you want more sex to override everything now. But I let you know that I was a great person, honest, blunt, dope to hang around with. That dude, certain conversations we had, didn't like what I said. It rubbed you the wrong way, but you gave me the benefit of the doubt. So in your mind, from when I asked the last situation before we ended it, right, to this day, she still texts me, right, talking to herself, whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, what about me that made it? She was like, I could excuse the little conversations that I didn't like that rubbed me the wrong way, but I understand it when I ask my uncle or my brothers on what you were telling me, right? So I'm gonna give you an example, because a lot of people are gonna be like, well, what are you saying to these women to rub them the wrong way? Okay, if I tell you, you as a woman, you're too old to have, like, okay, I want odd numbers for children, right? Just say on a good day, you probably could give me one, right? And you need to be well established for yourself as a woman and locked in within yourself to know how to raise kids. Everybody wants a marriage but don't know how to be a wife.
Fair.
She gets mad. But am I wrong for saying these things? It's like, oh, you're not supposed to say that. No. If I'm going to be building a future with you, these are conversations we need to have.
So, that a perfect example of when we're talking about that, like with my wife, we talk about everything. Like when I say that's my best friend, that's my best friend. But like, we disagree on stuff all the time. It's like what we were talking about on the podcast. Just because we disagree doesn't mean she loves me less or I love her more, or whatever that is. We can agree to disagree. And so the thing is, you have to find that person that can, for one, argue enough or debate you enough to either change your mind or say, hey, cool, I agree to disagree. I understand your stance on this. You understand my stance on this. And we just don't talk about it. Like,
that's not how I go, bro. Like,
no, but you got to, here's not what, that's not what I mean. If you know you have a difference of opinion and you can't articulate yourself enough to change her opinion and she can't articulate herself enough to change your opinion, it's a difference of opinion. You see what I mean? Like, you don't have to beat a dead horse. If you, let's say something is like immigration, you're for something, she's not. And you guys can't see eye to eye and you have a legit conversation like we're having right now. And she can't change your mind, and you can't change her mind. There's a difference of opinion. That doesn't mean you can't rock with each other. But that's the thing. So like when you were talking about the whole situation with, you know, some women not knowing how to be a wife and stuff like that. That's a debate. That's a conversation that needs to happen. And she needs to be grown up enough to be able to articulate her side, articulate what she's trying to say. And I've seen you listen. So you can listen. It's not like you're one of those people that's just like go off on a tangent and don't listen. So that's the thing. If she can give you X, Y, and Z and you listen, you're like, okay, I didn't think about it from this standpoint. That's cool. But if she can't do that, like that's what I mean by setting boundaries. So if you know that, hey, this is a problem, we can't have this conversation about her being a wife, then she probably shouldn't be your wife.
Yeah, true.
So that's a fair statement. But what I feel like with your situation is a lot of these people, a lot of these girls want to have this conversation before they're ready to have that conversation. And then they can't keep up and they get frustrated. And then they want to do, and then like you said, the sex makes up for whatever you just said. Instead of, hey, we need to have this conversation. We need to see if we're on the same page. So like, perfect example, when we had our kids, right? We had to look at our parenting styles and see if they match. Yeah. Because real shit, we could have easily been, I'm super authoritarian, and she's gentle and she doesn't want to do anything. That wouldn't have worked, right? We would have had that conversation. We would have had a problem because she would be undermining me. I would be trying to go overboard with my kids, all these things. But like for us, we'll go on dates without the kids, and that's stuff we talk about. We talk about freaking, you know, how we're going to deal with this situation, how we're going to deal with that. And she'll debate me. And if she makes a good point, I switch my mindset. But it goes on the other way too. She listens and goes, hey, you know, I understand what you're saying. That makes sense. Boom. That's the difference.
You got to also understand this. A lot of people are not mature. Even though they're older than me and I'm dating them, they're not mature enough to understand that. So I also had to understand this is what it is. I'm stuck in a bad space right now in the middle where either I date younger, right? Which I'm not, obviously not too young, like mid-20s.
Yeah.
And then I could probably do no older than probably, I'll say 40, right?
Yeah.
But for what I want for me, I can't deal with somebody that's late 30s for me wanting 3 to 5 children, even if it's possible. But it won't make sense because it was to a point where I had to, it sounds crazy, right? So me as a person, as a man, and you've asked me this before, why you work like you have a family at home, right? Mentally,
100%.
I put myself in a mindset like, yo, you got 3 kids and a beautiful wife at home that you have to take care of. Like on some like mentally not right in the head type.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen you do 80 hours in a week. Like,
yeah, right?
Like whoa. Like, hey, bro.
So now I'm just sitting here and then I'll come home to this beautiful apartment, money in the bank, money, all these investments, all these things going on for myself. accounts after accounts after accounts, index funds, all this stuff getting filled up. Crypto going crazy. Everything is just amazing to the point where it's just like play money is just gamble, prize picks. We having fun being stupid.
That's true. We did do that.
Right? Now that I'm sitting back and I'm looking at all this and I'm sitting back and I'm feeling empty because now reality hits now that now I walk through that door and I don't have a little one to run up to me and be like, oh, daddy's home. And I don't have a beautiful wife chilling, waiting for me to just be a vibe and laugh and have fun and plan trips and do all this stuff. And that's when the reality hits, right?
Yeah.
Because I've been burying myself and working and being mentally kind of like lying to myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really preparing for the kid and the family that I'm about to have.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where I had to sit back and think like, let's be real now. Now, everything is catching up to me. So I moved here 2022. I've been working 2 jobs. Even though certain people that know me personally looked at me when they see me working the nightlife and was like, bro, what are you working here for? You work with me during the day. I know you get money because we are in the same division.
Yeah.
And I got a wife and kids and side girls that I'm taking care of with the check that I get. And you're single as fuck and you're working here on your free time.
Yeah.
Why? Like, I like your ambition. I like that you all about your money. But there's something deeply mentally wrong with you where you just can't stop working.
Yeah.
No shit. May, when I quit the nightlife in May, that's the first time ever I never had 2 jobs ever in my life.
Yeah, I can speak for that. It is different. But you know the thing I feel like with you is you're gonna have to go through a point of straight vulnerability and opening up your dating pool to things that you might not have found necessary. Not that you didn't find attractive, but like things that might need a little bit more work or like just and.
But that's the thing though. This is the problem, bro. Like, let me just take a step back, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm born and raised Brooklyn, New York. My family's from Haiti, right? God bless my mother for doing a great job raising 3 kids.
Yep.
Probably like 3 to 5 cars, beautiful home, dangerous neighborhood, yeah. But she put in pain, bro, to make sure that we wasn't outside letting the streets raise us. Dealing with all of this, my mom used to pray every night for me because of the group of friends I decided to hang out with. And not to get into all of that, but I made a decision in my life to change my life just to better my mom and make her happy. I made my mom proud, right? Going through with life, becoming, going through trials and tribulations of my own, making sure that I became successful. Got out of New York, started a brand new life in San Diego. Just a suitcase, a Honda Civic, and a couple of hundreds in my bank account.
Yeah.
I figured it out. I had money, and this is when I knew I grew up. The money that I had stashed and saved, I literally took a chance. This is even before I moved to California. I threw it in cryptocurrency, and I trust you enough to show you my account.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that for someone that's from a city that don't trust nobody, I trust you enough. You gave me that to pretty much show you certain accounts, start a business.
Yeah, we do
right?
that.
And this is even when I had my 6-figure job, working in nightlife, investments, money markets for days, cryptocurrency going crazy, all these great things that I had for myself, while still maintaining a low body fat percentage, damn near doing jiu-jitsu, training, destroying myself, training together, while going to therapy, getting my mind right for things that happened in the past, fixing, being that perfect guy and still praying and keeping God within myself, even though I felt like I was fading away. But God was blessing me so much that it just put me in a way where mentally, physically, I was kind of like happy because I watched the progress throughout the years. And you watched my progress throughout the years.
100%.
So with that being said, right, with fitness, money, physical, spiritual, mental, emotional, all fixing, and I put in the work, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's my problem. I don't want to pick up a liability and form it to what I feel like there is somebody out there for me that went through the same thing and put themselves in a great situation. And also, while keeping my dick in my pants and making sure I didn't get anybody pregnant, even though I knew deep down inside, if I did, as a man, you're supposed to take care of your responsibilities. And that's
100%.
something that my dad instilled in me. And he told me, he was like, yo, if you date a single mom or you get a chick pregnant, I don't care. It's yours.
100%.
You're taking care of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So for me to pick up a liability and invest so much time and money and effort to building her to the woman I want, that's not fair to me, bro.
Now, but think about something. This is something I really want you to think about. When we look at the Bible, when we look at these things, as a man, you're there to lead. You lead your family. The problem is, right now, the situation that we're in, think about it. Back then, you would have got a girl that's 15, 16 years old. You might have been, 17, 18 years old. You grew together. Now, the problem is, what the situation that we're having is you're not growing with this person. So now you're trying to find them already built. Now, the problem is a lot of the situations that you want or the priorities that you have for that person, they're not taught. And so, not saying that you have to lower yourself, but the thing is you have to look and say, okay, cool. What's your potential? What are we doing from here? And understand that it's just like you and me. Perfect example. When you met me, I was damn near I was 380. Right? Something like that.
I think you said 4 something.
Yeah, I was a lot. You looked at me and was like, you ain't gonna do this. We gonna put this work in. Yeah. That's the first thing you did. You did that for a friend, a homie. Now imagine you look at that situation.
But listen, your situation different, bro. And it's only.
But what I mean by that is not even this. So what I'm trying to say is look at the situation from the standpoint of you have everything you want in life, essentially, besides a wife and kids. You can say that.
Yeah, I had to.
You got it out the mud. Like I ain't taking that from you.
Not true, but I had to come face to face and admit that it was hard for me to admit it, but that it was the truth.
Yeah. And so here's the thing with that, we have to look at when we get with somebody and we look at their potential and you look at these things and you can vibe with that person. You're going to have to lead them because in certain aspects, they're not going to be at the same level as you.
And I understand that that's fine. That's okay. But my whole thing is this. It's just certain things that I have on the list in my mind that I'm just not going for, bro. That I let rock before and it just didn't do me no good, bro.
But, okay, now here's another thing, though. There are those things you said you rock with, you didn't rock with again, all these things. But do you think you're honestly happy?
Happy with what I've accomplished in life? Yes.
No. I ain't talking about that. That's you can look at goals all day and be like, I'm happy. I made this money. But at the end of the day, you are not happy because the fact that we got on here and you were vulnerable enough to tell me you felt empty, that shows to me that your spirit is not even your mind. Your spirit is craving a connection. Your spirit wants this.
Yeah.
Now, your mind is putting stipulations on your spirit, which is fair.
Yeah,
You-
and
you-
you know what it is? I've done it so long that I burnt myself out.
That's fair. But the thing is, you have to look at certain stipulations and go, okay, like you might honestly go to a gym and see a girl that's not necessarily the fittest, but not fat either. Right in the middle, kind of doesn't really know where she's going, doesn't understand, kind of trying to figure it out. That might be your next move. That might be a person that you're like, hey, she got a job, she got her own thing, and she checks off a couple boxes, and you make yourself vulnerable to her and see where it goes. I feel like that might be your next stop. Not necessarily.
But I've done that, and
But
and I call her lying, bro.
But here's the thing. That's the boundary. That's the boundary part I'm talking about.
Bro, listen what Shorty did. She knew she was leaving to go back to Virginia within a month.
Mm-hmm.
Shorty played it cool out of the kindness of my heart. All she had to do was show up to the gym, and I took time away from what I had going on because I was already lean as shit at the time.
Yeah.
And helped her. Right? Everything was smooth. Everything was going smooth. Job, whatever. I know her mom had passed, and then I remember that her brother was the person that she was taking care of, and I was like, oh, it's cool. She used to run out of our sessions every time she got a phone call, so she knew that she was going to the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't say nothing, bro, until when she was leaving. That's when she mentioned, like, hey, I have to pack my things and go because an emergency happened. I got to go to the East Coast. She, like, a while back, probably a month after, I was kind of confused. I'm like, yo, where you been? Like, what's going on with you? Are you good? She was like, yeah, I didn't mean it. That time that I ran out the gym during our sessions, I didn't want to tell you, but I didn't think we were going to get that far. I didn't think I was going to like you this much. In my mind, I'm like, bro, that's traits. You ain't shit. Let me have done. Let a man do something like that to a woman. You will never hear the end of it. Just don't play fair. And I'm like, you know what? You got it.
But now, hearing that story, right? Mm-hmm. This first, and mind you, everybody, this is the first time I ever heard this story. I ain't never heard that story. So I think the thing that we don't realize is this. I get it. And that was traumatic to you in that aspect. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, we have to make it and take that step to be like, that's what I meant by being vulnerable. You had to take that step and be like, look, bro, this is what it is. I put myself out there. I get it. You don't want to get burned again. But that situation, you were happy at that time. Yeah, she messed up. Mm-hmm. But what I mean is, don't let her take that from anybody else. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, her messing up, you can't curtail somebody like that. Mm-hmm. You can say she messed up, boom. But that same stipulation, that same move, and the same way that you're dating, that's where you're gonna find what you want.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I had to tell myself, like, and this is what I do. Let's say I dated a chick for a month and it don't work out. I'll take time to recover so I won't let the last situation override the next situation. Every situation is gonna be a situation. Mm-hmm. One thing I do notice is fitness is a big thing. I've had chicks press me for being in the gym for too long. Once you start to take the gym from me, it's a problem for me. That's my number one red flag I do not play about, right? Mm. If that's my therapy, let's say it's like, okay, this is my therapy. I like to drink. Like when I used to drink to overcome a lot of stuff. I removed the bottle and said, every time I think about drinking or want to take a drink, I'll just go to the gym. So that's been my motto for like forever. Mm-hmm. This is why I could go a year and a half, 2 years without drinking, go on vacation, have a drink, and then reset.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? And that's just me as a person. So when someone sits there and tells me, we can't do that, or I don't want to join you on this path, I take it like a slap in the face. And it's a problem for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going for it.
Yeah, and I understand that. So, but the thing I feel like with you is your personality is all or nothing. There's no middle. And right now, speaking from a married person standpoint, everything we do is the middle. There's compromise in everything. So like perfect example. If I want to go to jiu-jitsu, I love going to jiu-jitsu. I go do that shit every day. She gave me certain stipulations. She's like, yo, 3 times a week is about right. And if you can, cook dinner before you leave. Cool. So that's the compromise. You know what I mean? But if I looked at the situation like you were talking, I'd be like, nah, fuck that. You have to get out of that single man life.
Oh my,
you do.
I don't want to negotiate, bro.
But you have to.
No, all right, look, you told me you wanted a leader, right? Right. Cool. You told me you wanted a provider. What if I told you, I need you to help me with these bills? You think that would be okay?
Well, my wife is cool.
Because she love you unconditionally and deep. You got her at the time where it made sense to get her. The generation we live in now, it ain't none of that. If I'm paying a chick's lifestyle and I'm asking her to do the little things and she's asking me to do it, just to not make her mad, I'll do it, right? Mm-hmm. That's what's going on. But let it be the other way around and I'm like, yo, yeah, these bills are getting kind of hefty and I'm trying to get this new whip, or I'm trying to like moderate my money a little bit. Can you just take care of the little bills while I take care of the mortgage? She gonna look at you like.
Not all girls will look at you like that. It's what you come out with. If that's the way you lead, you gotta think that's that. But that's the thing. That's the way you lead. I'll take care of you. I got this. I got you. I didn't go like that with my wife. I was, hey, I ain't got shit. You still want to be with me? Cool. You see where I'm leading? I ain't have nothing to lead.
So right now, if you told your wife you need help with the bills and she got to go back to work, she gonna be okay with it?
Yep. She said you got
to call her right now. Call her right now.
She would. Not even a question. That's the thing, bro.
Wow.
When somebody really rock with you, that's what it is. So, but I will say this. This is going to be our final moment on this. We need to take that shit to the comments.
Yeah.
I want to hear what you guys think about this situation that me and Danny got. Do you think I'm right? Do you think, Danny's right with that mentality?
Or have you been in a situation where you feel the way that I feel currently and you put in all the work for yourself and you just haven't found that one that matches or even come as close as where you or they need to be in life?
Or do you feel like you build with the person and then that makes it that love? Like, comment, subscribe. Right. And that was our In Our Fields podcast. I'm Mikey.
I'm Danny D, whatever you want to call me at this point. I don't care.
And we out.
True,